No one's going to like to hear this. You're going to call me a grifter. You're going to call me a shill. You're going to say controlled opposition, switch sides. Honest to God truth. This is the truth. Probably it was being driven from foreign countries and the left. That's just true. Why, oh why, all of a sudden did it become supercharged? If you criticize Israel on Twitter, boom, 100,000 likes. You could literally tweet Israel, 100,000 likes. Did everyone in America all of a sudden start hating Israel? Well, some people did, but I think it was driven in part, or maybe a lot, by the Muslim world, which is very engaged online because they were the ones at war with Israel, because Palestine is their regional cause. So I think a lot, like Jackson Hinkle, how many of his 3 million followers that he gained in those 9 months, how many of them came from the United States of America? And so suddenly anybody that wanted to blow up and be, what's the hot topic? What's the woke take right now? What's the edgy take? What's the take that's going to get me the most notoriety? It's on Israel. It's joining the Israel critical cause, being a Jew conspiracy theorist. They were milking it for everything it was worth. Here's what.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about the gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Hey, no. Get it from me. Oh, you should. You got your ass knocked the fuck out!
I'm a high-flying, high-kicking martial artist. I shoot red laser beams out of my eyes that can take down tall buildings, and I have a bulletproof cranium. Plus, there's the fact that I live in a relatively safe community called Gravesend, Brooklyn. At least it's safe for the residents here. Outsiders might be a bit leery about walking through here because, whether you want to believe it or not, there are still Guidos here that might approach you and ask questions and wail on you if you don't have the right answers. So, I feel pretty safe in this nice little community we call Gravesend, Brooklyn. And I am said by some to be the pride of Gravesend. Who am I? I'm MC Too Tall. You're watching the MC Too Tall show. Now let's go back to the very beginning of this show. A clip of Nick Fuentes, Chief Groiper, head of the Groipers, and the spearhead of this anti-Trump because he's with the Jews movement. He's backpedaling, and he knows he's backpedaling, and he's talking about a grift. So, is it self-admission? Who knows? But he's probably getting less clicks. His rage bait isn't as inflammatory as it used to be. A lot of people are walking away from him, scrolling past him. They're like, oh, screw this guy. And rightfully so. Man who says that he'd rather a Democrat win than Vance or Rubio. But I predict he's going to jump on the J.D. Vance bandwagon as soon as the right shoe drops and J.D. Vance begins to show his true colors. As J.D. Vance is like putting out a mist of dissent, a little hints and nuances of dissent that he's ready to capitalize on toward the end of the Trump administration. He might resign at the very last year of the Trump administration, and they'll have to bump somebody up, and they'll just put some lame-ass suit there in the meantime. So, as it's looking, Marco Rubio, not by words but by actions, is looking like the guy that's going to carry the torch come 2028. But let's get back to this Nick Fuentes business. Yeah, he spearheads this movement to go against Trump. He wants people to go against Trump, and it's by this whole Jewish conspiracy theory business. And then he backpedals. He wants to come back in. He wants to come back in with whatever branch of the conservative movement he thinks he could hop on. And just like Michael Rappaport, no, we're not letting you in. We are not letting you in. Certain people are not coming back in. They're just not. Not Nick Fuentes, not Candace Owens, not Tucker Carlson. Megyn is still salvageable. Megyn Kelly is still salvageable. And Alex Jones, I've never trusted him. I have not trusted Alex Jones since he even gained prominence. There was always something fishy about Alex Jones. And William Cooper had right and reason to call him what he called him, a bull-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar. And yes, he's a sensationalist bullshit artist, and always has been. And that's the wave he will ride into eternity. Nick Fuentes, he's still going to get a little pop for the remainder of the year, but you will see him fall off eventually as well, because people are onto his bullshit, and it is bullshit. He's doing what he's doing for clicks. Pretty simple, pretty clear. If I was doing what I was doing for clicks, I'd have a lot more than a 3-figure following. I'm all the way up to 375 subscribers. And I could talk like a bad guy professional wrestler and talk about how that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I'm going to, call it what it is. Not a lot of numbers and the grandest scheme of things. But if you want me to say it's great, I'll say it's great. What the hell? What the hell? I'll say it's great. Sure. It is the best thing since sliced bread. Why the hell not? But I don't have millions of subscribers. I rightfully should. You should be telling your friends about me. Whether they're friend or foe, you should be telling your friends about me. Oh, and it's Mega Hat Monday, incidentally. So now, with this Nick Fuentes business, he's a backpedaling son of a bitch. He's pulling the classic sidewinding shape-shifting tactics as Gavin Newsom. Nick Newsom over there. Silly, silly. And he's got a hoodie on to show that he's based, like Nick Shirley. Unbelievable. He's trying to reach out to the Nick Shirley crowd by putting on a hoodie to look based. Nick Shirley is an impartial guy that exposes fraud and corruption and dangerous neighborhoods for what they are. Nick Fuentes is a grifty groiper. And people have been deceived. People are walking away from him faster than people are walking away from Donald Trump. And people are only walking away from Donald Trump because they're looking at the prices at the pump. And they don't want to hear that these prices at the pump are still lower than the average price at the pump during the entire 4 years of Joe Biden. They just know that it's more expensive than in Trump's first year of office. So, they're angry at the here and now. So that'll be fixed up in time for the midterms. As I said, we got a lock on the midterms. I believe we're going to hold the Senate. And I'm going against the odds and saying we're going to hold it down in the House of Representatives as well. That's just my belief. We got a lock on the midterms. And a lot of executive offices are going to flip Republican. People are sick and tired of Huckster Hochul. I do not see Huckster Hochul getting reelected. Bruce Blakeman, he's putting himself out there. I do believe he should put himself out there a little bit more to get a little bit more of an edge. But at the same time, I do believe he'll win. I just would like to see him win at a wider margin than I currently foresee him winning at. I think that, unfortunately, the Steve Chan election could probably go either way, but I'm supporting Steve Chan. And people need to wake up and understand what Steve Chan has done for them. And they need to understand that Susan Zhuang didn't do what Steve Chan has done for them. That was Steve Chan's work, not Susan Zhuang's work. That was not William Colton's work. That was all Steve Chan and other various Republicans throughout the community, like Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who I believe has a lock on her reelection. But we got to keep Steve Chan in office. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And it brought me a great pleasure to personally tell Steve Chan face to face how pleased I am with the job he's doing as state senator. And I told him one-on-one, he's got my vote for re-election. And I intend to do it with the free pen his opponent, Dr. Larry He, put on my doorstep. Probably with his own two hands. Dude don't even know what office he's running for. He thinks he's running for New York City Senate. It's called State Senate, bro. State Senate. Thought you were a doctor. You're supposed to know these things. Doctor. I guess he's kind of a doctor the same way as Joe Biden is a doctor. Hey, Dr. Putz over there. So, no, we don't need this person in state senate. He's an empty suit and a puppet of Susan Zhuang. And he's compromised also by the CCP. He worked for Andrew Cuomo, and he was very close friends with those CCP operatives that got kicked out of Huckster Hochul's office that were layovers from Andrew Cuomo. And some of these idiots out there actually voted for Andrew Cuomo for mayor. Come the next mayoral election, 2029, you'd better vote Republican, whoever that Republican is. It'll definitely be an upgrade from the current mayor. And yeah, if you're still watching Nick Fuentes, cut that out. You know, stop giving this guy clicks and views and comments. Stop helping him line his pockets with your clicks and views. Just cut it out. It ain't worth it. Watch me instead. I bring you the real. I bring you the real because I keeps it real in my Dolce & Gabbana frames. And the people in the hood recognize what I do. They know I'm not a gentrifying dummy like you know who. And you could guess anybody to be that you know who. But here we are. Let me also remind you at closing to vote John Ricottone. And John Ricottone will definitely fix a broken District 47 in New York that William Colton, if he had his way, would render unrepairable. So I gave you all the people I support and who you should definitely support in these local elections coming up in November. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, stay strong, keep kicking that slang. Hiss your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Tutor. Yaha.